Okay, so big Fun Pimps news. The Fun Pimps and 7 Days to Die are excited to be joining Behavior, and there's a YouTube link there where Rick explains a lot more about how this has happened. But on Reddit, Sage the Wise posted this video as well, and then had a thing here where she linked to a article, which is quite useful because they have an interview, and we'll get to that in a second. But basically, from what we can tell, the Fun Pimps have been bought by Behavior, and Behavior Interactive are the people behind primarily Dead by Daylight, and they also own Darkest Dungeon. Their goal is basically, from what I can read here, to make a big horror portfolio, right? They want to be like the horror game company, and they've functionally bought 7 Days to Die and the Fun Pimps. And the main thing to take away from this article is that we're excited for additional manpower for art, production, and community, Richard Heening says. A lot of areas to augment our development and accelerate our ambitious plans. We haven't shared all our plans. There are a lot of big amazing things we want to do in 7 Days to Die. Behavior has heard a lot about these amazing things. The players haven't, in this player-driven game, by the way, are also excited about it. Getting that stuff into players' hands at accelerated and reliable cadence is what we're committed to. That is good. Like, the fact that they want to increase the speed of updates and increase the reliability of updates is good. That is what a lot of players have been asking for. I just don't know if being bought by a company is the way to do that. This article summarizes that basically the Fun Pimps should work exactly as they always have, but they should have access to more resources. I don't know why they need more resources when they have 70 people, according to that video that was posted, working full-time on the game, and they've made 20 million sales, and they've got skins that they sell, and there was a spin-off game, but I don't think it made any money. And there's actually more people working on the game. According to Joel on the forums a few months ago, he said there was 100+ people working on the game. I don't think 30 people were fired. I think it's more likely that there's like contractors and freelancers and stuff who are being brought in to do stuff. 30 of them apparently, and maybe Behavior can provide more of those. This isn't me saying anything about the future of 7 Days to Die of this. I'm just saying that I have seen what happens when you put too many people working on a video game. See Halo Infinite, which had over 1,000 people working on it because Microsoft couldn't shut the fuck up for 5 minutes. The credit sequence, by the way, because there's so many people that worked on that game on like one thing, the credit sequence in Halo Infinite is like 26 minutes long. It's genuinely insufferable. And that game didn't come out perfect because it had 1,000 people working on it and had the backing of Microsoft. I don't think that lots of people and lots of money make good games, especially if corporations are involved and are managing things. And if Behavior Interactive is in a position to control the people at the Fun Pimps, as in fire them and get new people in, I don't think that's going to be healthy for the company at all. But if Behavior Interactive and the Fun Pimps are completely telling the truth here, this should be good. If nobody's losing their job and the culture of the company isn't being disintegrated and the vision, quote unquote, isn't being dissolved, should be fine, right? But we are kind of asking the Dead by Daylight developers to not be absolute scum here, and I just don't know if that's the reality. Anyway, Isabel McCard says, we are still in the early stage of integration, so we're not ready to talk about specifics, but in the meantime, 7 Days to Die will continue to be supported and updated as planned. The team remains focused on expanding the survival sandbox experience. We're working on accelerating some of those efforts at Behavior, but those things take time. So maybe this is simply a case of Behavior wanted the money that the Fun Pimps make, basically. They wanted to take the revenue, and in exchange, the Fun Pimps get to make their game with as much resources as is reasonable. If so, that's probably fine. It could also mean that we start seeing more aggressive monetization with a bigger focus on skins. I wouldn't mind a bigger focus on monetization if it was actual content. Like, if we got like paid DLCs that were actually like significant, that would be cool. A good game to look at in this sort of like model is Ark Survival Evolved. Now, I know Ark Survival Evolved is dog shit and we all hate the companies that made it, but the monetization model wasn't horrible for its entire existence. Back when Ark first came out and we got like DLC packs like Scorched Earth and Aberration, those were pretty reasonable. Like, you would pay however much it was for this new map, and this new map would have a huge amount of new building blocks and animals and gameplay mechanics that would really be worth your $10, $20, whatever it was. If 7 Days to Die started to have things like that, I would be down, but I fear that monetization is just going to be more skins, and I hope not season passes and things, but I don't think Behavior Interactive is into that. I'd have to double check. I've not played Dead by Daylight in like a year. Either way, as long as the monetization doesn't get in the way of the actual game, like Ark Survival Ascended is fucking unplayable because of the monetization. Like, genuinely, you'll go and find a dinosaur that you don't own and it won't let you interact with it in the world, apparently. So that's That's fun. I hope we don't get to that level. But if it's just like more skin packs I can continue to ignore, fine, whatever. I think it's also really funny, and we can't not mention this. 7 Days Blood Moons was created as a Dead by Daylight competitor. It shit the bed so badly that the Fun Pimps just said, well, I guess Dead by Daylight wins, and sold themselves to the company that makes it. I doubt that's literally what happened, but it is pretty funny. It's also quite poetic that the Fun Pimps basically completely fucked a Montreal-based game developer in Illogica. People did lose their jobs over the failure of Blood Moons, by the way. I found that on LinkedIn. Only the best news here. I go on LinkedIn looking for your fucking 7 days news, only to be purchased by another Montreal-based game developer, which is pretty funny. But yeah, until the Reddit AMA, which is tomorrow, and I will make a video on it, we just don't know much more about this. It could be amazing. History indicates it's probably not, and I don't like the fact that the Fun Pimps are now not quite as indie as they were before. But at least they were bought by like another indie company and not Microsoft. God, that would be bad. So yeah, this is probably not the worst case scenario, but it's definitely going to be a big change for 7 Days to Die. That's going to change a lot of, I think, how the Fun Pimps are going to be thinking. I think they're going to be more concerned with making sure behavior doesn't destroy the company rather than worrying about the players' responses. That doesn't bode well. And they're saying lots of beautiful, beautiful things that I don't believe because I've been in this community too long. So yeah, that's about all I have to say on this matter. I would recommend you don't go full doom and gloom and be like, oh, we're so fucked, it's over. Like, we might be, but we also might not be. Remember, kids, nothing ever happens. It could just be that. One of the features Behavior Interactive might be able to help the Fun Pimps with is bandits. Maybe they need Behavior Interactive's programmers to actually put out bandits. Maybe that's why this happened. I made a video yesterday on bandits, which will be linked right now. You should probably watch that if you're interested in 7 Days to Die and its future and stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.